Audi's unveiled its latest generation A6, a few days in advance of the official world premiere on the Geneva Motor Show's big stage. Let's have a look at Audi's sporty new sedan. Designer Wolf Zabers explains that Audi decided to develop the sportiest A6 of all time. They wanted to keep the best qualities of the previous A6, the core elements, and at the same time create an entirely new design language. And this is what that language looks like when spoken. Well, Zabers points out the all-new architecture for the front. The single-frame grille that graces every Audi and defines its face is noticeably flatter and wider. That makes the new A6 look sportier. The head and tail lights in particular have a super three-dimensional design, and a chrome bar in back further enhances the aerodynamics. Initially, a range of 4 engines will be offered for the new A6, starting with a 250 kilowatt V6 TFSI, followed by 2 6-cylinder turbocharged diesels with outputs of 170 and 210 kilowatts. All the engines come with the Quattro 4-wheel drive system and automatic transmissions. Later, the smallest will be a 150 kilowatt 4-cylinder diesel with front-wheel drive. Audi's Ronald Lazowski describes what he calls a mild hybridization for all the engines, adding that they decided on automatic transmission to get the greatest efficiency. They developed a new generation of transmissions as well as a new rear axle differential, so they'd have several points to cut down on CO2. There are 2 automatic transmissions to choose from, the classic torque converter for engines putting out 500 Newton meters and more, and the new generation dual clutch transmission for front-wheel drives, and as an automatic with the Quattro Ultra. This one is for torques limited to 500 Newton meters or less. Another very convenient technological feature is the option to unlock the A6 using a smartphone. The car is able to recognize the phone and load all that user's preferences. In many ways, the A6 is modeled on its big brother, the A8, especially in its luxurious and state-of-the-art cockpit. Audi's Luisa Schmidbauer points out that every vehicle has 2 monitors. The standard-equipped lower and upper displays are 8.6 inches. The upper one is 10.1 inches in higher trim lines. These 2 screens have eliminated all the buttons, so the driver and passenger can work everything from touchscreens. And this allows for an intuitive operating concept with both a haptic and an audio feedback, vibration or an audio signal, which makes things easier for the driver. When she presses a control, a little pulse or an audio signal confirms her selection, so the driver can use the multimedia interface while concentrating on driving. It can still also be operated by voice commands, and addresses, for example, can be entered on the keypad. Another relatively intuitive and very quick integrated feature is handwriting recognition. So if you'd like to drive to Berlin, for example, you can simply write Berlin across the screen, and it guides you to Berlin. She says Audi is quite aware that it's not easy to write legibly while driving. That's why it was so important to make the operation as intuitive as possible. The driver can even write each letter on top of the previous one straight through, and the system finds the address relatively fast. Prices for a new Audi A6 are likely to start at around 44,000 euros in Germany.